In the heart of West Africa, gold is a treasure more coveted than any other. Burkina Faso, the 14th largest gold producer in the world, unearthed an astonishing 70,000 kilograms of this precious metal in 2022 alone. But behind this glittering facade lies a tale of exploitation and inequality. Instead of elevating its people, the gold of Burkina Faso has become a source of despair. European companies dominate this gold rush, leaving little behind but hardship for the local population. In the mines of Burkina Faso, young workers toil under the sun for meager wages, while the fruits of their labor fill the vaults of European banks. This exploitation has left 40% of Burkina Faso's population in poverty, plunging the country to the lower echelons of the Human Development Index. But now a new dawn is on the horizon. President Ibrahim Traore has vowed to rewrite this narrative. He challenges the status quo, declaring that the West will no longer exploit Burkina Faso's gold. Captain Ibrahim Traore, Burkina Faso's head of state, is charting a new course for his nation. In a recent declaration, he announced the end of an era. The era of freely exporting gold to the Western world is over. His words resonate with a deep-seated desire for change and to correct the historical wrongs in managing Burkina Faso's natural resources. Despite assuming power through a military coup, Captain Traore's focus is clear. He is determined to rectify the mistakes of past leadership. Under previous regimes, Burkina Faso's wealth and natural resources, particularly gold, did not translate into national prosperity or well-being. In the past, the story of African gold has been one of peril and exploitation. Africans, often risking their lives, have extracted these resources using hazardous methods. The use of mercury and engagement in small-scale, unregulated mining operations are testimony to their desperation and the high risks involved. However, the fruits of their labor have seldom been enjoyed by those who toil. Instead, intermediaries have swooped in, purchasing these precious resources at significantly reduced prices. These intermediaries then turn to Western markets, where they sell the gold for substantial profits that never return to African shores. President Traore is taking a stand against this long-standing exploitation. He sheds light on the challenges many Africans face in dangerous mining operations. These individuals, who play a crucial role in extracting gold, receive minimal compensation when selling their gold within African markets. This systemic undervaluing of African labor and resources has contributed to a cycle of poverty and underdevelopment. But now, President Traore is advocating for a radical shift. He envisions a future where Burkina Faso and Africa, at large, are no longer at the mercy of unfair trade practices. This practice hampers job creation and hinders overall development, as the money is drained away from the local economy. Burkina Faso faces the significant challenge with the prominent mining company Endeavour Mining. Based in the UK, this multinational corporation dominates Burkina Faso's gold mining sector, controlling nearly one-third of the country's gold market. To complicate matters further, Endeavour Mining acquired the Mana mine in July 2020 as part of its takeover of a Canada-based gold miner. This situation highlights a recurring issue where ownership of African resources often falls into the hands of foreign entities. Previously, a Canadian company owned the mine, and now it is in the hands of a UK-based firm. Endeavour Mining, a foreign entity, holds a substantial 90% share in the mine, while the Burkina Faso government only holds a mere 10% stake. This demonstrates the overwhelming foreign control over the country's resources. Burkina Faso, recognized as the world's 14th largest gold producer in 2022, underscores the significance of its gold reserves. However, it is becoming evident that the ownership of these reserves does not truly belong to the people. Most multinational companies exploiting these resources come from countries other than Burkina Faso, and the government's stake in these companies is relatively minor and easily bought up. Consequently, the people have minimal control over their gold and cannot afford to benefit from their own resources. Recently, the government had to purchase 200 gold bars from Endeavour Mining using their own funds instead of utilizing the gold extracted from mines in Burkina Faso. This scenario starkly illustrates the imbalance in control and benefit from the country's natural wealth. This situation mirrors what has occurred in Ghana, where AngloGold Ashanti currently owns almost all the gold mines, and the Ghanaian government has no stake in these operations. Essentially, they have relinquished their natural resources and heritage at a mega price. The predicament lies in the fact that the profits generated from these resources do not flow back to the continent, failing to contribute to its development. This is why Burkina Faso's leader asserts that they are moving towards establishing their own company to exploit these resources independently on their own terms. They aim to enhance the value of the resources and sell to the highest bidder, ensuring that the earnings flow back to Burkina Faso for the nation's development. Many young people are left wondering why their nation and the continent, rich in resources, remain impoverished. It is perplexing how Burkina Faso, the 14th largest global gold producer, continues grappling with economic challenges. Multinational companies' ownership of their gold, coupled with the failure to reinvest the funds within the country, means that Canada and the UK reap the benefits. This becomes evident when evaluating the minimal contributions made to local development. These corporations make profits through their corporate social responsibility efforts. Captain Ibrahim Traore firmly declares that such practices are now a thing of the past. But how will this be achieved? Well, Ibrahim Traore presented a plan in August of this year during Burkina Faso's International Youth Day celebrations. Ibrahim Traore made an unexpected policy announcement. Despite surprising his audience, Ibrahim felt compelled to address a critical issue. Since taking office in September 2022, he has been tirelessly committed to utilizing Burkina Faso's abundant resources for its own benefit. During the event, Ibrahim took the stage and delivered a compelling message highlighting the stark contrast between International Youth Day and the actions of the Western world towards African nations. He strongly criticized the treatment of African countries, calling it a model of brutal imperialism. Ibrahim emphasized that despite the formal abolition of slavery in Europe and the United States, Africans continued to endure conditions resembling slavery due to foreign control over gold mines. Many argue that the Western world abolished slavery, but Ibrahim accentuated the role of these very Western powers in perpetuating slavery in Africa. Young Africans are forced into arduous labor in dangerous gold mines, risking their lives to generate profits for Europe while receiving only basic sustenance in return. Ibrahim acknowledged the persistence of neocolonialism in Burkina Faso and vowed to instigate transformative change. That's when he unveiled Burkina Faso's new policy, which focuses on reclaiming sovereignty over gold mining. Drawing parallels to the conditions endured by enslaved black people in Europe and the Americas in the 1800s, Ibrahim highlighted the problematic lives of today's miners in Burkina Faso. He raised questions about the exploitation they face, pointing out that the profits from gold mining ultimately benefit European powers who hold mining rights. This structural dominance has significantly influenced Burkina Faso's gold mining sector. To address this, Ibrahim Traore declared a transformation, revealing plans to establish a state company to take control of all mining sites, especially gold mines. This change aims to kick out European companies and ensure that the gold extracted remains in the country, benefiting its people. Modernizing the mining sector will replace harsh conditions with a contemporary approach, allowing gold to be used to advance Burkina Faso citizens, not European entities. The recent cancellation of Nordgold's license, a major player in Burkina Faso's gold mining industry, is a pivotal example of this shift. Contrary to perceptions of growing hostility between Burkina Faso and Russia, the decision to revoke Nordgold's license is rooted in a strategic move to renegotiate terms that favor Burkina Faso. This move is reflective of a larger trend where African nations are re-evaluating and asserting their rights over their natural resources. President Traore's close contact with Russian leader Vladimir Putin suggests a nuanced approach to international diplomacy and trade. By renegotiating with a key ally like Russia, Burkina Faso signals a departure from past practices where foreign entities often dictated terms. This move towards renegotiation is not just about obtaining a fairer share of the profits. It's a statement about the autonomy and respect that Burkina Faso demands in the global arena. The decision to cancel and then offer a new license on terms set by Burkina Faso is indicative of a more assertive stance in international business dealings. This approach is not just about increasing revenue. It's a strategic move to ensure its people benefit from the country's resources. It's a step towards rectifying the historical imbalances and exploitation that have long plagued countries rich in natural resources. This new approach to doing business, even with allies, demonstrates Burkina Faso's commitment to fair and equitable trade. It's a significant shift from the past, where African nations often found themselves on the losing end of international agreements. By taking control of the negotiations and setting their terms, Burkina Faso is leading the way for other resource-rich countries to follow. This move is more than just a renegotiation of a mining license. It's a symbol of a rising Africa, one that demands fairness and respect on the global stage. This initiative by President Traore and Burkina Faso is a bold step in redefining the dynamics of international resource exploitation. It's a move that could have far-reaching implications for Burkina Faso and the entire African continent as it seeks to reclaim its wealth and assert its place in the global economy. During the International Youth Day ceremony, Ibrahim addressed businessmen, urging them to generate job prospects and set Burkina Faso on a path to recovery. He introduced the EPIC initiative, aiming to redefine businesses within the nation and promote self-sufficiency by utilizing local raw materials. Ibrahim's declaration was a call to action for the entire African continent to liberate themselves from the grasp of former colonial powers. He emphasized that despite attempts by these powers to obstruct Burkina Faso's plans, united efforts could overcome these challenges. His message was clear. Burkina Faso's battle for resource control and prosperity is part of a broader African struggle for independence and self-determination. We are certain that the West will not stop their quest in the gold mines in Africa, but African leaders have a great role to play in making this gold remain in their respective countries. Do you think African leaders could completely stop the West from exploiting their gold mines? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Do not forget to like this video and subscribe to the New Tourist channel. Turn on notifications too so you get notified whenever we upload videos like this. Thanks for watching and see you in our next video.